Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interactions. We have the 2020 feature, sports with Brian Camp, and entertainment news with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Ring out the old, ring in the new, ring a ding ding. Hi, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour. It's Friday morning, TGIF, and here we are. And we're fast approaching a brand new year, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour, you and I and all of us together. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, it's I would say in advance, Happy New Year, because this is going to be our last show of 2022. And then we drift into a brand new year. However, we're so glad you're out here to enjoy. We want you to come and enjoy us, because if you're here for the very first time, this is how it goes. We're not always doing this. We don't party all night like this. No. This is just a special occasion. But we do invite you to come in, and the show consists of a lot of people that come in. They watch us and they talk to us, and you can do the same thing. All you have to do is take your keyboard and type in whatever you want to say, enjoying the conversation. The purpose of the show is to do that, to get everybody involved. As the host of the show, I start off the show, right, in my own little way, and then a little bit of conversation, this and that and the other. And if you want to have a conversation that's something that you may want to talk about, we'd be glad to have it for you. All you have to do is just, as I said, type it in, and I will see you right there on the square. All right. And for those of you who've been around with us for a while, of course, you already know the score. And for you newcomers, we come from 3 different places. We come from live on Facebook. That's where we're on right now, live on Facebook. We're on YouTube and live on Instagram as well. So I want to say hello to everybody who's joining us. Now, those of you who are joining us on Facebook, please take the time right now to tag all of your friends. Tag this show. You can do that. Tag this show to all of your friends. Let them come in and enjoy as well and be part of the action here. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, the thing is, what we like to do is make sure that you, first off, be part of us by subscribing to my YouTube channel, because when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that will give you the opportunity to know when we come on live, or when we even post a video or a photo or something to that sort. You'll get a notification right there, providing you're online to see it. And then all you have to do is just pop into that notification, click that notification, it will bring you right to the page, and you can join us in action. Those of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you. All you have to do is just keep following us, as you have always been doing over the years. Just follow us and tell your friends about it, because we want more to come, more the merrier. And this upcoming year, we want to make it a more of a family show where everyone gets together. Now, just because you're new, that doesn't mean you're any less than the people who have been joining us all these years. You're just a new person, and you get the rights and the opportunity, just like everyone else, to be part of this show. We're going to do our normal thing in conjunction of interacting with you. We're going to do our 2020 feature. We got that coming along. 2020 feature features 20 past the hour, sports with Brian Camp. We're going to link up with him. He's out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're going to link up later on, not too far away, 20 past the hour. And he's going to give us all of the sports news, and we'll talk about that. The second half of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here, of course, with, of course, entertainment news, and he'll be reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who are celebrating birthdays this week, within this week. And we have that. Also, we have Turner Classic Movie Picks of the Week. And I like to do that because I like to make sure that when your weekend comes along and you, with all of the abundant things that you're going to do, and I know you will be doing it, especially celebrating, the New Year's, you may take a little time and do something else. And one of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some old movies, and we have those for you. I have my picks of the week. I'll tell you more about that and a lot of other things. But in the meantime, thank you so much for being along. And what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? However, there's no coffee for me today. It's eggnog because we're celebrating a brand new year. So whatever it is that you have, coffee, tea, eggnog, or hot cocoa, whatever it is, you excuse me while I shoot up. Oh boy. A phrase from Jackie Gleason, how sweet it is. Yes, indeed. And get back to that a little bit later. So that's where we are. This is where we are now. Yes, we're coming up to a brand new year. Coming up to a brand new year. And of course, a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of things for the brand new year, going to make New Year's resolutions. A lot of you probably do make New Year's resolutions. Do you do that? I personally don't, because I never really stick to it. I just let it flow, But if you want to interact with us and let us know what you're doing for the New Year holiday, because that's going to wrap up everything. Once this New Year thing goes by, that's going to wrap up everything. And then we get to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because now we could see, that's the way I see it. I see summer on the horizon, right? Only because it's my favorite time of the year. So I look at that light at the end of the tunnel. And of course, you know, a lot of people are glad that the holiday's over for different reasons. You know, I mean, they spent a lot of money, so they want to regain the money that they spent, or you know, it's an expensive time of the year, you know, and of course, you already know that we bypass Christmas. I hope you did have a great Christmas. And a lot of people have not made it to their destinations because they were flying, and that big storm in Buffalo and all over the country. People were snowed in. They had to plow their ways out, and people took the chance of taking flights. And some made it and some didn't. And some made it, but some didn't make it back. And they have to stay in airports for 5, 6, 7 days before they got a flight out to get back to where they were supposed to be. And after the snow and all of that subsided, most of the airlines went back to normal, except we had a problem with Southwest. That was the airline that had the big problem. And that in that case, you couldn't blame it on the snowstorm, because there was no snowstorm now, you know, but people remained in the airports, and they're trying to get out, trying to wonder when they're going to get. All of their flights were canceled. It was a total mess. But I do understand now that Southwest Airlines is going back to normal schedule as of today. That's the news that I've gotten. So I guess that means all of the people who were stranded get to go home. And the way I understand it, that it's a little earlier than expected, because they were thinking that this was supposed to go past the New Year. Now, maybe people still will be stranded even before the New Year come in. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. People want to get home and celebrate with their loved ones. It's going to be a busy time tomorrow night, because especially here in New York. I don't know, maybe in your area too, but I know in New York, we got Times Square. They did a few dress rehearsals yesterday with the confetti throwing and all of that. And of course, today they're testing the ball dropping. They're going to have a rehearsal on that. And the big day and the big night is tomorrow night. Now, a lot of you may be at Times Square. And by the way, Times Square is open at a normal year this year. After when we had the virus going on, they had the celebration last year as well, but it wasn't as normal could be. But this time around, it's going to be a little bit normal. So people are looking forward to that. People are going to Times Square. People are coming from all over the place. Tourists coming in, they want to see Times Square. Local people even going to Times Square. It's a big crowd. If you like big crowds like that, I guess Times Square is your place to be. So keep all of that in mind, but do it on a safe manner wherever you're going to go, wherever you're celebrating, whatever you're doing. Please be safe. I don't suppose anyone is going to actually travel, you know, anywhere to anything. All right. I don't suppose anyone is going to do that, because we consider this a long weekend now, right? Because even though the day, New Year's Day is on Sunday. That's New Year's Day is on a Sunday, but they're going to give you that extra day. That's going to be the observant day on Monday. So it's kind of a long weekend for those of you who are working this week. We had a short week for you, for most people. And then now it's going to be another short week when you go back to work. So, you know, if you're lucky enough to get that day off, it'll be great. Hello, DJ Pete out there. He's coming in and he's got a weather forecast. And by the way, if you're coming in and you want to chime in, talk and conversation like Pete is out there right now, do what Pete is doing right now. Give us your weather forecast. Now, that's something that's not mandatory, but that's something that we like to share with others wherever you are. But if you're in New York, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I am going to take care of the weather for New York. I'll let you know what that's happening. But for those of you who may be out of town or out of another different country or another time zone or something, another state, another city, we would like to hear your weather forecast. Now, Pete gave us one out in Portland, Maine. All of us experienced bad weather last week, but let's see what he has today. In Portland, Maine, it's going to be partly cloudy. You're going to have high temperatures around 46 degrees. That was better than last week, Pete. That was better than last week. And early Saturday, temps low 41 degrees. And let's see, winds out of the southwest at 2 miles per hour. That's all, 2 miles per hour. Humidity, you know, he's going to give us this extra humidity, 70%, and UV index 1 of 10. So that's what's happening in Portland, Maine. Now, when you come in and you want to conversate with us, give us your weather forecast as well. And let's say hi to each other, you know, and I would love to say hi to you, you know, because a lot of people like to sit back and just enjoy the show idly, you know, sit back idly and watch the show and, you know, that sort of thing. That's okay, too. And but we would love, and I would love to greet you and a happy new year to each and every one. If I can't do it personally, I just want to say it all collectively. Happy New Year. And this is, I have to say it because today is the final show of this year. And we won't go back on the air until, I guess, Thursday night when we do a Talk Back Live. And then we come back here the following day. And we'll be officially in the brand new year. We're not officially there yet, but we're going to get there. And again, you know, whatever your plans are for New Year's Eve, do it on a safe, keep it all safe. All right. Keep it all safe because that's what it's all about. Okay. So we're going to give you our weather forecast. We've got, let's see, let's fish around for this. Let's see what we got here. We've got 49 degrees. That's what we have right now. And temperatures are warming up compared to what we had the couple of the past few days. Temperatures are warming up because I remember last weekend, and it happened for most of us in conjunction with the storm. And after the storm, I mean, the weather was frigid. I mean, that Saturday, when we woke up that Saturday, when I woke up that Saturday morning, last Saturday morning, it was 11 degrees out there. It was cold. It was really cold. So the temperatures are climbing. They're climbing so you can relax a little bit. And this is what we have for our weather forecast. I did say it's 49 degrees presently. Sunshine and a few afternoon clouds for today. We'll have a high around 55 degrees. That's our high today. That's pretty warm. Pretty warm. You know, not summertime warm, but it's a heat wave compared to what we had last weekend. 55 degrees, winds light and variable. And for tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy skies. Early will give way to some cloudy skies late. And areas of patchy fog will develop and we'll have a low 44 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And for tomorrow, Saturday, the weekend, here in New York is not going to be that great. It just starts out right now. But for Saturday, tomorrow, showers early becoming a steady light rain. Later in the day, we'll have a high near 50 degrees and winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain up there to 70%. So that's a good chance of rain there. For Saturday night, rain early, then remaining cloudy with showers late, and we'll have a low 48 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain. It boosts up to 90%. So you have a stinkeroo of a weather forecast for this weekend here in New York. Sunday, as you get ready to stay in, you want to stay in, it's New Year's Day, you want to stay in and watch the Twilight Zone marathon or the Honeymooners marathon or something like that, I think it's a good time to stay in because you have to go to work the following day. If you happen to be off on Monday, then that's okay. But for Sunday, partly cloudy skies. We'll have a high 54 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour for Sunday night. Partly cloudy in the evening with more clouds for later in the night. And we'll have low 38 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap it all up and call it a day and officially be in the New Year mode for New Year's Day, I just gave you that, but this is the day after. Monday we'll be off, right? But this is what it looks like. Some sun in the morning on the observant day on Monday. Some sun in the morning and increasing clouds during the afternoon. We'll have a high 51. Winds will be light and variable. So on Monday, it doesn't say anything about rain. We might have peekaboo sunshine coming in and out. So repeating our current weather forecast, we have 49 degrees right now, and the sun is out here in New York City. So what is it like in your area where you live as far as your weather forecast goes? Let us know what it's like, and we could read it off and share it with other people so they'll see what your weather is. So here we are. If you're just joining us, it's now 16 minutes past the hour. 16 minutes past the hour, and you're just about 4 minutes away from Brian Campbell. We will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports, and that's all coming your way. All coming your way. Okay, so applause to Southwest Airline meltdown. It's kind of over, I guess. I don't know, but we have to find out what the outcome is going to be later on. As they say, what is it going to be like? With that big experience of people just lying in the airports, and a lot of people have not been able to get their medication, leaving their medications in the bags that they have to check in at their check-in bags, which tells you that if you are on medications and you're flying, make sure that the medications is in your possession at all times. If you have a carry-on bag, put it in the carry-on bag. And this way, anytime you need your medication, you can do that. There was a lady that I heard on the news too, that she was a diabetic and she needed her insulin shot, but the insulins, all of her medications were in her bag. And I'm not talking about the carry-on bag. It was in the check-in bags. And for some people, their medications were in their check-in bags, but the bags were in another location other than where they were. That's kind of frightening, so let's learn from that one. If you are on medication, then you're flying, you're traveling anywhere, make sure that your medication is in your possession at all times, because you never know how long you're going to be out there. You never know. And a lot of people learn from it. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who were once dedicated to Southwest Airlines, I guess they're up in the air about whether or not they want to fly there anymore with them. I've heard stories. Brian told me a story last night on when we did the show last night, Talk Back Live, that he had flown Southwest Airline, and he said it wasn't really a comfortable flight. And a lot of people fly Southwest Airline because it's the cheapest airline too. Everybody is looking to save a buck or two, and so they fly that. But this is what's happening, and I've never heard of a situation like this in my life. I've heard of delays in airports, but I never heard of delays this long. People have stayed in airports like days, like 2 days, maybe 3 days, but 6, 7 days. Wow. And when you go out like that, I know if I had gone out to see a relative or something like that, and I knew that I had a flight to come back, but the flight was canceled. And they say, well, I don't know, when your flight is coming in, it's canceled. We don't know, but we'll let you know. You give us a callback number and check your app, and then we'll give you the information on when your flight is coming in. in my situation, if I had visited a relative, then the way my relatives are, they say, oh, come on back, stay for a couple of days, stay as long as you need, at least you have some place to sleep, and maybe those people who were out there didn't, who knows? We don't know. We don't know. But again, the flights on Southwest Airline is getting back to normal, I hear. I hear that. I hear it's getting back to normal. And so their flights are coming out, which means, I guess, if they're getting back to normal, which means, I guess, that the people who were stranded for all of those days are finally getting ready to go home. And so that's good news. That's good news. Okay, speaking of news, how about sports news? Okay, I got Brian Camp. We're going to link up with him right now with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. It's here. Brian, this is the final show of the year.
2022 is coming to a close.
That's right.
It was been a strange year, but overall it was a good year because you know why? Because we're still here. We lost a lot of people through various reasons, through health. The pandemic is still going on, but we're still here. So I'm grateful that I'm still here. So overall, it's a good year. We may not have things to go our way, but it's a good year. So hello, good morning to you. Good morning to Pete, everybody out there that's watching as we wrap up this final show for 2022. Hope that everybody had a good year, a safe year. If you're here listening, so that means you did have a safe year. But we still got one more day to go. We still got to go run errands. So let's still be careful and be well. So it was about sad. I was talking to you about that person who was in line for a kidney heart transplant, and she missed her flight. And now she has to wait. She has to go back on the list because they had to give it to somebody else because of the delays. And I don't know what airline it was, but all the airlines took a major hit. There was a lot of cancellations. Southwest took the most hits. But, there was another story when another lady who was in a wheelchair on breathing through oxygen tank, was at the airport, and she left her blood pressure pills in her suitcase in another city, another state. I personally, whenever I travel, I keep all my medications with me because of something for things like this. But I keep it with me. I keep all my medications. I hope that the lady with the heart transplant and the blood pressure pills that the other lady was taking, and anybody else who have similar stories, hope that you are doing well and being safe. That's important.
Yeah, as I said, the airline Southwest is going back to normal flights right now. So I guess this means these people, it's going to be a slow process, but I guess that means that these people are getting ready to get back home. And I bet they can't wait to do that.
Yeah, some of them has been stranded for days, and it's unbelievable. But I hope things get back to normal with the air flight. I'm coming into New York City next week. Hope all is well and everything will be back to normal. So
you're not going to come in on Southwest, are you?
Oh, no. I've been on Southwest before. Never again. That's a rocky airline. I wouldn't. I'd rather pay a couple of $100 more to fly on a different airline than to ever go back on Southwest. Southwest prices are very cheap, but I would never. No, because they choose your own seats. You can't even choose your own seats. So
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's like being handcuffed.
Yeah. And it was the seats are old. The seats were rocky. The plane I was on, it was rocky. It was hard, and I'd rather either go on JetBlue or American Airlines. Those are the only two that I prefer.
JetBlue to me is the best airline. I remember before TWA went under. TWA was the best airline. I used to fly TWA. But now JetBlue, everybody's raving about JetBlue. I love JetBlue.
Yeah, you can watch TV,
Yeah, absolutely.
Direct TV, So yeah. But JetBlue or American Airlines for me. American Airlines is, I think they merged together too.
Yeah, they did. I think JetBlue. Which one is the parent airline? I guess American Airlines is the parent.
I think it is, because whenever you when you book a flight for American Airlines on the way back home, you might be on a JetBlue.
That's right.
Vice versa. So yeah, it's I think American Airlines. I didn't like American Airlines at one time because there was problems with hijacking and the Twin Towers, and when we had the 9/11 attacks was by American Airlines, So, but they made better security, better arrangements and everything. Yeah. But anytime you take off and you're up in the air, it always goes through your mind. It goes through my mind. I can't speak for everybody else. Right. Just have a safe flight and a safe landing and a safe takeoff as well. So let me get to sports. This past Monday, the NBA the Spurs and Jazz game was delayed for 40 minutes. It was delayed by 40 minutes because due to, as the Spurs call it, it was a security threat. Yeah, which has impacted fans entering the AT&T Center arena, players, staff for both teams, and stadium employees were like, and a few thousand fans were inside when they announced that, everybody you have to stay calm right now. There was no evacuation, but after a while, when the law enforcement says, okay, the threat is no longer a threat. So they continue the game, but the game was delayed for 40 minutes. So you're gonna find these things that happen during this time of the year. So if you see something, say something. That's an old New York slogan. NFL football, some of the New York Giants were inside the Mall of America, which is during a deadly shooting that had a young 19-year-old man was killed. Now, this mall is the biggest mall in the nation. I want to go there too one day. I know a lot of women would want to go there, but it's the largest mall in America. They went on lockdown. None of the football Giants players that was there shopping was hurt or injured. This is last week when the New York Giants visited Minnesota to play against the Minnesota Vikings. So glad that everybody else was okay. So sad that one person was killed. NCAA football, the Final Four is here tomorrow, New Year's Eve. First game, number 3 ranked TCU versus number 2 Michigan. That game will be at 4:00 on ESPN. And the second half of that doubleheader, Ohio State, 4th ranked in the nation, versus going to be going against the top-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. That game is at 8:00 on ESPN. So we're ready to close out football, college football, and coming to an end. Soccer, legendary soccer player / football player, depends on where you live. In Europe, they call soccer, to us, they call it football. We know it as soccer. Pelé, legendary Brazilian king of all of football / soccer, died of the age of 82, of colon cancer. He is a 3-time World Cup champion. That's the most by a commanding sports figure. He is globally known. He is regarded as the greatest player, the greatest soccer player of all time. He is known, like I said, throughout the world. He was a fantastic player and everything, and had a smile, a real gentle smile. And our prayers go out to him and his family. This day in sports, December 30th, 1907, Abraham Mills from the Mills Committee declares baseball was invented in 1839 by Civil War General Abner Doubleday. When I saw that, I said, wow, he was a general, Abner Doubleday, because he is, he was the creator of Doubleday of baseball, Major League Baseball. 2008 NFL coach Mike Shanahan. Now here, I'm going to give you this story here. 2008 NFL coach Mike Shanahan was fired by the Denver Broncos. Why is that so important? 5 years later, 2013, the same exact date, he was fired again by the Washington Redskins. How does somebody get fired on the same exact day, 5 years apart? Something wasn't right. So 2008 was fired by the Denver Broncos, fired again 5 years later, the exact date on the Washington Redskins, who's known as the Washington Commanders. In 2018, Patrick Mahomes becomes the second quarterback in NFL history to throw for 5,000 yards and throw for 50 touchdown passes. It's amazing. Birthdays today. Happy birthday to Sandy Koufax, Major League Hall of Famer, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, was born in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York. Yes, and in 1961, Ben Johnson, Canadian athlete, Olympic sprinter, was born in Fairmont, Jamaica. 1975, Tiger Woods, happy birthday, Tiger Woods, American golfer, was born in Cypress, California. And in 1984, he's known as the King, but he's not the greatest basketball player of all time. LeBron James' birthday was born in Akron, Ohio. Michael Jordan is still the greatest player to ever play the game. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the last update of sports for 2022.
I wonder how someone could actually get fired in one day.
And on the same day, 5 years apart. Yeah.
5 years apart.
Yeah, on the same day, he fired on this day in 2008 and got fired again on the same date in 2013.
Oh, okay, that's different. That's different. It's just because now that's coincidental. Unless he planned it that way. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, boy. Anyway, Brian, it's been a heck of a year. Like you said, it's been a heck of a year and a challenging year. And I say this sarcastically, but the best is yet to come. But we'll get over it. We'll get over it.
We'll be fine. One day at a time.
Everybody's going to be fine. So what's your plans for New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, the church that I sometimes attend, I will be going there to attend. And yes, they pulled my arm, they twisted my arm, they asked me to cook. So I'm going to be smoking some meat. I'm going to be smoking a bison brisket, which is better than a beef brisket. It's so tender and it's healthier. And 6 slabs of St. Louis spare ribs. So the smoke is going to go on tomorrow afternoon around 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I am so hungry.
Yes.
I am so hungry. God, man, you got a way of
5 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes.
I'm going to be on the safe side, and I'm going to stay home New Year's Eve, and I'm just going to watch the festivities from Times Square in New York
on CNN.
Well, you know what? I'm going to watch CNN. I'm going to give them one more chance because I'm going to give them one more chance because I'm hoping. I have to say it. I have to say it. You know me, I'm an outspoken guy, but I hope that Andy Cohen behaves himself this year.
I know. Yeah.
You know, I thought, it was, he got away with murder. You know, the average person, if they had done that, they would have been gone. But I know he's supposed to be a comedy guy. He's supposed to be funny, but sometimes you could take things too far, and and he's just downing shots right through all the show. You got to remember he's working. So I'm going to give him one more chance. I'm going to give him one more chance and be nice Happy New Year. Enjoy yourself. If you want to do a couple of shots on the air, that's your tradition on the air. Just don't let it out. Just don't let it take you over. That's all.
Is that like watching Dick Clark?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if Andy Cohen doesn't wise up this year, if he gets out of hand this year, I'm finished. And I'm just going to go to ABC and watch Dick Clark, because that was my traditional viewing. Dick Clark New Year's. The only reason why I didn't watch that, because Dick Clark is no longer around with us. So Andy Cohen, you got competition. You better be nice this year. You better be nice. I'll be watching you. Brian, I guess the next time we'll talk will be next year.
Next year, yes, next year. And Happy New Year's to you and to Pete and everybody else. And hope everybody be well and be safe. Enjoy the holiday.
Okay, take care of yourself.
Take care.
Have a good one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, doing his final show of the year. And of course, when we come back, it'll be a brand new year, and we're going to do brand new things. And we hope that we look forward to a safer year, pleasant year in all aspects. Miracles can happen. And that's why I'm hoping politically everything will be, kind of calmed down, and the crazies go home someplace else and let the rest of us live in peace and harmony here. That's what I'm looking forward to, And again, a lot of people, they make their resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I don't make them. And the reason why I don't make New Year's resolutions is because I never stick to them. Now, some people say, well, what I'm going to do for New Year's, this New Year, I'm going to make sure I make a lot of money. That's one resolution I would never make. Yeah, things could fall through. I would never make that kind of resolution if I was a resolution maker. But hey, if you that confident and you think you have it to do it, then fine. And I hope you make that kind of money. And some people do other things. They say, well, I'm going to do less drinking. Some people say I'm going to do more drinking. Some people make these resolutions. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to be nice to others. That's the key right there. That's the key right there. That's a resolution I could make and stick to it. That's one resolution I could make and actually stick to it. So yeah, I will make a New Year's resolution to be nice to others, because others count as well. Other people count as well. Other people, you're not the only one on the planet, and always respect the rights of others. Now, my mom, before she passed away, left me with that thought many years ago, even as a kid growing up, saying that you are not the only person on the planet. There are other people. Be considerate, be kind, be nice. And if you meet someone that's not so nice, mean, kill them with your kindness. But I always stuck to the fact when she said, always respect the rights of others. And so I always took that with me all of my childhood life, all of my adult life, even till now. And so, yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, to be kinder to people, because I'm the kind of person too, and all of us do it, right? Sometimes we wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you're grouchy. Some people are grouchy until they get their coffee in the morning and then they come to life, whatever, but some people are grouchy all day long. And then whatever the problem is, they take it out on other people. That's not the way to do it, because we're all, why should anyone, or why should I conflict my problem on you? You have done nothing to me, nothing. So why should I conflict my problem on you? So whatever it is if you have a problem and you're moody in the morning and you're grouchy in the morning, don't take it outside with you. Don't take it to work. Don't take it to school. Don't take it anywhere. Leave all of that home and then deal with it when you get back. You'll feel a lot better. I guarantee you will feel a lot better. People who, you ever meet people who just don't smile? Everything is like so negative. so negative. They don't have a nice thing to say about anyone. So I challenge those people. I challenge those kind of people to turn it around. Try it. Try something new. Try something new, like the opposite of what you are. Try that. If you're a mean-spirited person, and of course you're not going to admit to that, but other people will see that, and other people will notice that you make that complete turnaround. I'm going to be nice, because you get more out of people when you're nice to them. You ever get on the telephone with people and you're doing business over the telephone, and some people, they come out swinging. Some people, like, they come out swinging to the person at the other end. They're trying to help you. They're doing a job and they're trying to help you. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. Maybe the company, if you're upset with the company, that's the company that you're upset. But the person that you're interacting with on the telephone has nothing to do with that. And you have to remember that they're doing a job. They're trying to help you. That's why they're there, to pick up the phone to help you. If there's a problem, they're there to help you. So try to keep that in mind. Be nice to people. That's the American way. That's the American way. Be nice to people. Like they used to say, it's nice to be important, but it's so more important to be nice. And with that, the nicest guy in the world that I know, out of Portland, Maine. I don't get to see him in person, but here he is. We link with him each week. DJ Pete, there he is. And
check 1, 2. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Brian. How's everyone today?
How are you?
We're good. I am good. Sorry about my camera again. I'm on like my third camera, and I don't know what's going on. I'm giving up on cameras, so. So I got a lot of names this week, and let's just go through them quickly as fast as I can. Cab Calloway, December 25th, 1907. Of course, a lot of great music by Cab. Also, film work with the Blues Brothers in the first movie, and yeah, Minnie the Moocher, great tune by Cab Calloway. One of his great tunes there. Not many people may know this name, but local to Maine, Al Hawks, born December 25th, 1930. He was a American bluegrass musician and founder of Event Records, an old record company from back in the 1950s. He also had a TV repair shop in Maine, and had this huge sign with the TV repairman, and people call it the walking TV repairman because the arm and leg would move on the sign out front of his shop. Let's see, who else do we have? Steve Allan, December 26, 1921, American television, radio personality, musician, composer, actor, comedian, and writer. He achieved national fame in 1954, co-creator and first host of The Tonight Show, Steve Allan. Let's see, who else do we have? Scotty Moore, December 27th, 1931. American guitarist who formed the Blue Moon Boys in 1954, which was Elvis Presley's backing band. He was studio and touring guitarist for Elvis between 54 and 68 after his son sold him off. Let's see, who else do we have? Dorsey Burnett, December 28th, 1931, American early rockabilly singer. His younger brother, Johnny Burnett, and their friend Paul Burleson, who I've met, founding members of the Rock and Roll Trio in the 1950s. Who else do we have here? Johnny Otis, December 28th, 1921, American singer, musician, composer, band leader, record producer, and talent scout. He was the godfather of rhythm and blues, had a lot of great music, and people that worked with him too. Let's see, who else do we have? Rose Mathis, December 29th, 1922, American country singer and musician. one of the pioneers of the Bakersfield country sound. I think they're talking about Bakersfield, California on that. Who else do we have here? Ellis McDaniel, December 30th, 1928, also known as Bo Diddley, American guitarist who played a keynote in the transition from blues to rock and roll. And he had a really great sound in the 1950s there. John Denver, December 31st, 1943, American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and actor, and humanitarian. Let's see. And finally, I have actor Tim Matheson, December 31st, 1947, American actor and director. He's well known for his roles in 1941 and Animal House, but he acted and directed some TV episodes of a TV show called Burn Notice a number of years ago, along with Burt Reynolds and some other great people. I have a little information on our New Year's Eve tune that everybody loves to sing, Auld Lang Syne, AULDLANGSINE is the spelling of it. Some people who don't know it are saying old,
Yeah.
anxiety, like anxiety or something like that. Popular song in the English-speaking world, for people like us. I got some information here. The text of it is a Scots language poem written by Robert Burns, 1788, but based on an older Scottish folk song. In 1799, it was set to a traditional tune, which is what we hear today for it. So let's see. And that's what I got this week, Frank.
Oh boy, did you know that that Johnny Otis, you mentioned Johnny Otis, and last week you mentioned Cleanhead Vincent was celebrating a birthday. Did you know that Cleanhead Vincent was one of the people in Johnny Otis' stable? Yes,
he was.
Yeah.
He was.
Him and Esther Phillips, but at that time she was known as Little Esther Phillips. He had a lot of people. Yeah. And talking about the Tonight Show, I know you're right. Steve Allen was the first host, but didn't Jack Parr host it after Steve Allen?
I think so. Yeah, there was another host before Johnny Carson came on for the long term.
I think it was Jack Parr. I always thought that Jack Parr was the first host, but you're right. Steve Allen was the first host.
Yeah.
But I do remember Jack Parr doing it, but I don't think Jack Parr did it as long. And then I think after Jack Parr, was it Johnny Carson? Because that's all I can remember.
Johnny Carson, but there were people filling in.
Yeah.
Like Dave Letterman would fill in.
Yeah.
George Carlin would fill in.
Yeah.
He
had a lot of people that filled in.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra filled in for him. Let's see, Joan Rivers done it a lot. You know? And it was quite a show, and they originated from New York. I don't know when Steve Allen did it. I don't know if it came out of New York, but I know it probably did. I think it did.
It probably did.
But I know when Johnny Carson took it over, it was already in New York.
Yeah. And then I forgot one more name here.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Donna Summer, December 31st, 1948. Born nearby me here in Boston, Massachusetts. Queen of Disco, they called her.
LaDonna Gaines.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila Ali, is 45 years old today. The boxer. She's the I guess you call the female greatest. I don't know. Anyway, she's 45 years old today. Politician Mike Pompeo is 59 today. Comedian actress Tracy Ullman is 63. Actress Cheryl Lee Ralph is 66. Journalist Meredith Vera is 69 today. Rock singer Patti Smith is 76. The late Davy Jones of the Monkees would have been 77. Actor Russ Tamblyn, who, by the way, played in West Side Story, he played the character of Riff. Remember that?
Mm.
He's 88 today, and his daughter is an actress too. His daughter, Amber, is an actress too. Del Shannon, you know Del Shannon. He would have been 88 today. Skeeter Davis did that song, that big hit, The End of the World. She would have been 91. And you already mentioned Bo Diddley. He would have been 94. Actor Jack Lord, who played in Hawaii Five-0. And earlier in the early years, he did a series called Stony Burke. He would have been 102. Jo Van Fleet, actress Joan Van Fleet. Now this goes way back. She would have been 107. And do you remember Burt Parks?
No, I don't.
Burt Parks was the TV host of Miss America. He was the original host of the Miss America pageant.
That wasn't really a show I would watch.
No, whether you watched it or not, everybody knew Burt Parks, you know.
Yeah.
You didn't even know. But I used to watch it because I used to like to watch the pretty girls.
Okay, all right.
That's a good reason to watch it. He would have been 108 years old, and that's all I have today. And it's a new year. What's happening radio-wise for this brand new year? I know you got your radio show.
Yep. Let's see if I can find the information here. I'm on radio airwaves most Mondays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Also, every other Tuesday night on WMPG radio broadcast station, which is WMPG.org. But to find out really what I'm doing, because I sometimes change my schedule around, find me on social media, Facebook or Twitter, Pete DJ PJ, and you can find me there for my schedule.
Pete, I want to tell you a little story before you go, because you bought the Cab Calloway. You mentioned Cab Calloway, and he did that hit that everybody loves called Minnie the Moocher.
Mm-hmm.
There was a rumor in my family. I don't know how true the rumor is, but there was a rumor going around in my family because I have an aunt. Of course, she's no longer with us. Her name was Minnie. My aunt's name was Minnie. And the story was told that she had dated Cab Calloway. And so you see where I'm going with this?
Enough said. Yeah. I you know, and I'll tell you something funny. A friend of mine, a relative of his, was the basis of the character Hot Lips Houlihan, MASH. So from Waterville, Maine.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brian mentioned something earlier. I'm trying to remember what he was talking about. I want to jump in on it, but I've forgotten it now. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe you can remember it for me.
Maybe so. But yeah, okay. Hey, listen, Pete. This is the last show of the year, and we're gonna go to a brand new year, and let's see what we can do to make things hot for the next upcoming year.
Yeah, I think we're just. I'm going out to dinner. Wife and I are going out to dinner, and we may try to see a show or something, but we're going to stay home.
I don't blame you.
There's too many crazies out there. But you know, if you go out, you know, be safe, be careful where you're going.
Absolutely.
And enjoy bringing in the new year.
Happy New Year. Get you back here next week, hopefully.
All right, next week, next month, next year. We'll see you then, folks.
Okay.
I'm DJ PJ. Take care, folks. Bye.
Thank you, DJ Pete. And DJ Pete, of course, just wrapped up his segment of the what am I thinking? Oh, I think, okay. He just wrapped up the segment of the 2020 feature, and he did entertainment. I just lost myself for a minute. Entertainment news, and thank you so much there, DJ Pete. Okay, we're going to go over to the movies now. I want to talk about the movies because I have some movies for you now. A lot of you are going to be doing things for the weekend, and the most part of it, you're going to be celebrating the New Year. So you may not want to think about movies, but just in case you want to take a break from the hustle and bustle of the movies, of the celebration, even after the celebration is over and you're home Sunday and you got Monday too, maybe some of these movies you can DVR them and watch them later if you don't want to watch them in real time. Just let me recite them for you so you'll know these movies are classics. Here's one that goes back to 1984. It's not a black and white classic, but it's a good one called The Soldier Story, starring Howard Rollins Jr. and Adolph Caesar. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that tonight. It's Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's a good movie. I enjoy it. Here's something else I enjoyed that everybody enjoys. This goes back to 1954. A film called The Caine Mutiny, starring Humphrey Bogart and Van Johnson. And we have a few extra people in there, such as Lee Marvin and a few other people there. And that's on tonight as well. That's late tonight, 11:45 p.m. I don't think you're going to watch it at that time because you're getting, well, you might, but even if you didn't, you could always DVR it later and then watch it, right? DVR, it's The Caine Mutiny. It's a great movie. You already know about it. 1954. That's tonight at 11:45 p.m. Here's something nice from 1940. We've mentioned this before. It was on, but I think it's worth watching. It's a nice comedy called The Philadelphia Story back in 1940, starring Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and James Stewart. And that's on Turner Classic Movies, but it's on Sunday, your day of rest, 9:45 a.m. Just in case you have to go off to church, you can DVR it and watch it when you get back. But if you're just like me, you're going to stay home and just not bother with anything. 9:45 a.m. Eastern. That's The Philadelphia Story. Singing in the Rain from 1958, Gene Kelly. That's Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor along with Debbie Reynolds. Nice musical, a classic musical. That's Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And finally, we go back to 1967. And this is called The Heat of the Night, starring Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's also on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. All of these great movies are there. And again, if you don't get a chance to watch them in real time, I just gave you the schedule. You can always DVR them. And if you missed anything I just said, I'll repeat it in just a few minutes. But you could also go to Turner Classic Movies and you could scroll through the program guide and you might see more movies that I didn't mention because these are only my picks. You can see more movies that you may like and you may want to drop them in your DVR schedule and watch them later. Just to scroll down the line. Also, you can go movie on demand and watch some of these free movies. They date back from years, from the 1930s and on up, and they're movies that you haven't seen in a long time, probably never seen, or they jog your memory, and maybe movies that you've seen like thousands and thousands of times, and you can see them 1,000 more times, right? And also, if you like the update movies, the movies that are on market now, you could also go to Movie on Demand and watch pay-per-view. You can watch the latest movies and the past movies. They're all there. They're right there from A to Z. It's right there. Again, let me repeat these movies coming up right here. I think you're going to like them. Soldier Story, and that's on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And after that, it's Caine Mutiny. That's tonight also. That's tonight also at 11:45 p.m. The Philadelphia Story, that's on Sunday at 9:45 a.m. Singing in the Rain from 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And The Heat of the Night, that's on Sunday also at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I think you're going to like these movies. Stand by and watch them. They're great movies. I think you'll like them. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed the show. Enjoyed doing this show. This is our last show of the week. As a matter of fact, the last show of the year. And we're going to come back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more. And the name of that show is called Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be along with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. At that time, we'll be in the brand new year. And so join us then. Other than that, I'll be back here next week for a brand new year, a brand new show. And Brian Camp will be here with Sports 2020 feature, 20 after the hour for him with Sports Update, 20 to the hour DJ Pete with entertainment news, all coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And I invite all of you, please, if you're going out, please do everything on the safe side. Let me in once again, in advance, just do that in advance to wish you a happy and healthy new year. And we'll see you next week. Take care. Ring a ding ding. Happy New Year, everybody. See you next week.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.